Hello everyone and welcome to week 2 of CIT 260. A lot of you are getting farther ahead than me, which is great. So sorry I'm a little bit late with this video. I will get week 3's video done hopefully midweek this week so that you don't have to wait for me. So this week you'll be forming teams, brainstorming project ideas, and then building a requirements document. So let's talk about the course project a little bit. You're going to build a game. It's going to be a text-based game. And it's going to play a lot like an RPG or board game or anything. So I have some examples here. This is a Jurassic Park game. So it gives you a nice intro. You can start a new game and you enter your name. You can move around. I can move east. I got attacked by a dinosaur. I only have 7 tourists left. That's not good. I'll move east again. Oh, cool! I found another area. I ended up in the car depot. So let's pick up some gas. All right, I've got 2 fuel. I guess I can pick up as much gas as I want. Let's exit the car depot. Let's describe the location. I guess that hasn't been implemented quite correctly yet, but that's okay. I can move south. So I can move all around this map. That is one of the requirements. You must have a map. You must have lists of things, and inventory is a great way to do that. You must have some sort of complex calculations. I believe when you end up in the power station, you have to calculate the resistance to turn the power back on to the park. In this game, I don't know how to get there. And there's a couple other requirements, so please read through that assignment. Those are like the big ones that I can think off the top of my head. You have to have a map. It has to have 25 locations at least, and a grid's a great way to do that. Another example of a map that has a grid, I believe, is this one. So if I look at the map here, you can see all the different locations, and those mean something, and there should be a key, but I'm not that big of a stickler for things like that. So there needs to be a map. There needs to be lists. Inventory is a great way to accomplish that. Picking up items, dropping items, selling items, buying items, whatever you want. There has to be complex calculations. I'm not, again, too concerned about how complex they are. And then if you can get those, then everything else will be nice and should fall into place. So that's the idea behind the game. So make sure that your game idea kind of fits along that theme. It should have those elements. They should be able to be incorporated into your game idea. So secondly, once you have your game idea, or you find another person's that you really like, you're like, oh, that sounds like a really cool idea. I'd like to work on that. I'll be actually, hold on. So yeah, you'll want to form teams. I'll be, well, I actually won't. You can make your requirements document for any of the game ideas that you choose, or any that are out there. It doesn't have to be your own. You and your teammate, it doesn't even have to be your own. For this assignment, this is where it gets a little confusing. For this assignment, you can have teams of up to 4 people. However, when you go to do the rest of the class, you will have to trim your teams down into teams of 2 or 3. So if you have a team of 4 for your requirements document, then you will split into 2 teams of 2. If you have a team of 2, you're set. If you have a team of 3, I'll let you keep that team of 3. So that there's some confusion around this assignment versus the teams for the rest of the class. Teams of 4 will be split into 2 teams of 2. And for the rest of the class, you may not get to work on the requirements document that you submit to me. I will trim down the requirements documents that I get into acceptable game ideas, a list of 3 or 4 of those, and then you'll have to pick from those 3. So you may get to work on your own, but you might not get that opportunity. To do that, or to get the opportunity, the best thing to do is to submit a really good requirements document. And here's what I'm looking for. So for instance, I want a list of user and description of the game, what it's going to be about. I want a list of end user stories. So all the different things that that player can do. Every action should be a story. And then a description of each of those. And the way to find, to do that, the easiest way to do that is to start from the beginning of the program. Okay, when you start the game, there's a main menu. The main menu has these options. Let's make sure to, for each of these options, tell me what it's going to do. The help menu does this, the new game does this, the load game does this, the save game does this. You have to be able to load and save your game. Those are requirements. Quit, that's easy. New game, you'll notice it'll take you to the game menu from this story. So here's what that game menu looks like. And then for each of these options, there's a story that tells you what happened, that tells me what's going to happen when you select that option. So there's a map option, an inventory option, a travel option, explore. And for every menu and submenu, any menu item that you can pick that leads to anything, I need to know what that's going to do. It doesn't have to be a huge game, but you have to make sure that you have those minimum requirements. And that's what's going to make a really good requirements document. Another example here is this Jurassic Park story. A description, a list of the end user stories, then the description of those. So the start program, the main menu. So there's the start game, get help, save game, load game. There's the get help. There's the start game. There's save and load aren't there, but you know, nothing. This one's not perfect, but at least gives you an idea. The game menu. Here's all those options that are listed. Okay, what happens when I press? I guess they kind of mess things up here because there should be a move to location option. And again, move to location. You can enter coordinates. You can just have a move north option, a move south option, like I showed you in these games. If you hit travel, there's go north, go south, go east, go west. You can view your current location. If I move east and then view my location, I'm at 0, 1, so I've moved. So I'm looking for that in a good requirement document. The game idea, be as creative as you want, but please, please, please make sure that you have a story for every action that the player can take from any menu. If you have that, you will do well. So that's all you're doing this week. I'm going to post this with the weekly announcement right now. If you have any questions, office hours obviously is Monday, so that's kind of cutting it close, but the late deadline for all of these is next Monday. Not for all of these, but for this requirements document. So if you have questions, those office hours are a good time to ask them, and I may extend the deadline depending on how many people show up to office hours, or maybe just extend it for you if you're having struggles. So yeah, that's the assignments this week. Use the developer forum to post your ideas, your game ideas, and form your teams for this week. Again, this week's teams are different, and I hope you have fun creating some game ideas.